I'm ready to do the slide where I am going to highlight one literary device, quote the line and explain the literary device and explain its impact on the line and the overall poem. So I need to look at my poem and see if I can find any literary devices used. I have already highlighted one that I suspect as being personification. But what if I'm not sure? So I can just do a Google search for literary devices, or I can read in my textbook about literary devices. I like this website, literarydevices.net. It has all of them. Look. So I should probably make sure that personification is what I think it is before I use it. So I'm going to click on personification. Try to escape the ad nightmare. So I have personification as a figure of speech in which an idea or thing is given human attributes and or feelings, or is spoken of as if it were human. Does that fit with my line? That all they want to do is tie the poem to a chair with a rope and torture a confession out of it. Yes, here the poem is being tied to a chair and being tortured until it confesses its meaning. So that is personifying the poem. You'll notice that there is a lot of overlap in terminology. Figure of speech is part of the definition of personification. Also that it's a common form of metaphor. So you see a lot of overlap. So don't stress yourself out if you feel like there are two types or more types of literary device or figurative language that overlap. Just pick one and make sure that you can make that one fit with what you're trying to say about the poem or that line of the poem. So here I am. I'm going to go to a new slide, and this is my personification slide now because that's what I have chosen to highlight. Let me remind myself what my instructions are. Let's see. Quote the line, explain the literary device. Highlight one literary device. Okay. I will do that. I'll pause you while I do that. I have decided I would like to use a full sentence before I quote the lines of the poem. Why does that not correct when I keep trying to correct it? All right. I'm going to make this red so you can see it's my signal phrase. Then I'm going to quote the lines of the poem, which I'm going to go back to my poem and find right here. I will copy and paste if I'm able, but I don't want to keep my poem in that format because it's only 3 lines. Oop, the copy paste didn't work very well. Sometimes if that happens, you can hit Control Shift and then V for paste, and that kept my font the same type as the other. I no longer want that red. So I will use, instead of a blocked quotation format, I only have 3 lines, but I need to honor my line breaks by using a / between the lines. And see, it's that easy. Now I don't keep that period here. Instead, I close my quotation and then I write the line number. Lines, I write actually the word lines. I do not put a comma next, just nothing next except for the numbers of the lines. So I have to go back and count my line numbers and put those line numbers here. These are lines 12, 13, and 14. So I will put that in here. 12 through 14, just like that. I'm going to highlight this yellow so you can see very clearly where my parenthetical citation is. Now I need to explain how this personification impacts the line of the poem, which I've kind of hinted at, indicating the threatening nature of poetry to students by using the word enemy, but I will continue to expound upon that, as you should do with yours as well. never end a section of an assignment with just a quotation. Always explain after. That's what I'm doing with this green sentence, and I'm going to add some more. So I have introduced a quotation with a full sentence so that I have enough context that I didn't really technically need a topic sentence here. But if you're just simply using Collins writes as your signal phrase, then you'll need something more to introduce the concept of personification. And guess what? I didn't even use the word personification in there, which I need to do. Let me revise a bit. Actually, I did use personifies here. I should add another sentence or something in this bottom section that uses personify or personification in some way. All right, so I've made that little addition. Now I can go to my design key here and look at designer and see what kind of things it can bring up. One thing that you can do is hit insert, and then I could find a picture and then use design, and that will help me. I will search on the web for maybe this is going to be, I don't know if I want to search person tied to a chair. Maybe enemy? I don't know. Interrogation? Something like that. What could I do? But I could find something like this. And, oh, there's a professor again, kind of looking stressed. I'll see what I can find. Okay, so I found enemy tied chair is what I looked at. So insert. And let's see what my design thing creates for me. Something like that, maybe. That'll work. I lost all my colors, but I could go back and fix that. And I will, but this gives you some idea of how you can do this particular slide. You do not have to use colors, but you know I like it, so it makes me happy when you do. So feel free.